Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the A1 Trading Trend Scanner, and we're looking at some of the setups for this week. Today is Thursday. It's about 6 p.m. in the Eastern US time zone in the afternoon. So we are looking at the chart now just to get a bigger picture idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the chart here to the 4-hour chart. And then what I'll do is also look at the daily. So what this thing does, in case you are newer to the channel, if you haven't seen this tool before, this tool over here is something built specifically for MetaTrader 4. You guys can feel free to check it out. I'll leave a link for it down below in the description if you'd like to get a copy. But what it does is it basically scans a selection of markets, up to 30 symbols that you select here and here, and what it's going to do is it's going to look for the best trend trading setups basically. So you can see it has a couple categories here. It has the symbol, it has the trend, and it has the signal. Okay, so the trend section, what it's going to do very simply, just like this, it's going to look for 3 moving averages that you assign. I have the 20, the 50, and the 100 selected here currently, right? It's going to look for all 3 of those to be agreeing or trending one direction. In the flip side, it would be looking for a downward trend as a bearish trend, but you can see in this case, our current chart, USD CHF, we're looking at a bullish trend here. So USD CHF bullish, right? So in that case, what that's telling us is that, hey, the trend is up, and we can see all 3 moving averages are reflecting it. That's our definition of an uptrend. So the tool has scanned that this is a bullish market. However, you'll see that there is no current signal. We don't have any signal for dollar Swiss. And the reason for that is that yes, this chart is trending higher, but there is no entry signal. We're looking for a pullback in this scanner before looking at possible setups. So it will continue to sit here in the background and watch our dollar Swiss here until there's actually a signal. And in that case, it will alert us. But for now, there is nothing on dollar Swiss. Let's go take a look at some of the signals being produced on the 4-hour chart here. Again, using these settings, the RSI 7 and the 60/40 as an overbought and oversold reading. I should also mention that on top of the trend filter, right, it is actually using the RSI, which we can see down here, and looking for overbought or oversold status. So for example, if this actually was to pull back enough for this to read oversold, right, and the moving averages were lining up, that in that case would be a signal, which could be interesting because that would be more of a pullback setup that we may be interested in looking at closer. So let's actually go look at what the signals are producing today. So dollar yen is mentioning here on the trend scanner that this is considered bearish right now. So what we'll see is that we have the bearish trend, and that's all 3 moving averages for the first time in a while, I should add, showing up bearish here on the dollar against the yen. So as price pokes up in this level, you can see again, it's also printing an overbought reading on the RSI. Those 2 things give us this signal here. So instead of spending a whole bunch of time looking through every single different currency pair, bam, we have a trend trading setup that may be occurring. Now, it's up to us at the end of the day if you want to go take these trades, but you can see here, for example, you do have a nice level of resistance. So let me actually light pink. For example, looking at the dollar yen today, look at that. Not bad, right? So you have a couple different things to consider here. And at the end of the day, it's producing a bearish trend signal as well as an overbought or possible entry signal there. So again, we could use that information and go make a decision of our own if it fits your trading style, etc. That's up to you. Then another big setup that we have for today, another one that I want to mention on the 4-hour chart before looking at the daily chart, is you can see that the pound dollar is actually generating a buy signal in an upward trending market. Now this is kind of interesting because you can see this thing has been forming nice higher lows and now is showing a little bit of a possible bottom here. We'll see if that plays out, but of course the point here is we are now getting a signal on the A1 trend scanner, which is the big part here. So you can see we are printing bullish overall, and also that the signal here is showing that, hey, we've actually entered into a territory where things are looking oversold and there may be some buying opportunities. In fact, this actually came out earlier today. So the initial signal here came out on the 4-hour chart on the last bar. So very, very interesting. Could have already been in that trade. So I do like that quite a bit there on pound dollar. And hey, that may actually be a pretty decent trade to go look at. So of course there is the 4 hour. Let's also look at the daily chart. So the pound Swiss, little higher time frame here. We're looking at the daily chart. This is producing a possible overbought downtrend, though personally I don't love this one. Even though this thing is a great tool for assisting us in setting up for trades and finding trend trading setups, it doesn't always do every ounce of work for us, because as you can see, for me, this would be one to probably avoid on the sell side, just because this thing is quite choppy recently, and also because we've just had this regimented buying, and overall I would say we're actually still sort of range bound on the higher time frames. So although that may be a signal to some traders, for me, I would probably skip this one. CAD Swiss on the sell side, daily chart. Really interesting here, actually. Check this out. So CAD Swiss for us is showing that there may be some possible downside here as price retraces in what is now sort of a dominant downtrend. And this actually makes a lot of sense. You've got lower highs coming into this market, and now it's calling for a possible another lower high in favor of the downward trend. Now, of course, this is not going to be a 100% success rate, but if it is right and you're doing your risk to rewards correctly, right? Let's say, for example, I was to take a sell there, put a stop over the highs, a little bit of a swing trade there, and then this trade decided to return. Of course, it's not going to be right all the time, but even if it's right occasionally and it's right enough to get us some of those great entry opportunities, this could be profitable. So with that said, I'm looking at CAD Swiss. That's an interesting one, definitely to the sell side, especially with these lower highs, and the signal that is being produced may actually be worthwhile. So with that said, you guys, there are some trades or some ideas generated by the A1 Trading Trend Scanner. If you're not already using this tool and you would like a copy, I'll leave a link down below in the description for the software. If you use MT4, you can install it. It takes literally like less than 5 minutes to install. It's really easy. And you'll get also some installation instructions, things like that to use, and go from there. So if you'd like the tool, like I said, link is down below in the description, and best of luck in your trading. We'll see you back next time.